At this moment, we are working in a project named after EduQual All Nepal. This project is part of the educational reform of Nepal. The government of Nepal requested EduQual Foundation to implement my own pedagogy of teaching, my own methodology, which is named after Pedagogy for Transformation, in 30 government schools. Through this program, we are going to educate approximately 20,000 children, and we are serving a community of 60,000 people. We are very happy with the results, and we have already started from last September in 7 government schools. We started working in this project because, generally speaking, the government schools of Nepal, they have a very poor education system. In the first place, Nepal does not have enough schools to attend the high demand of children going to school due to lack of economical funds. Other problems associated to this is the lack of hygiene, lack of infrastructure. The children, they don't have any materials to work in the classroom, and also the discipline is not appropriate. Still, there are many schools where the children are being beaten up and tortured, and the curriculum of teaching of the children is not associated with the cultural environment and the multicultural systems coexisting in Nepal. This is a must to address our educational pedagogy and try to serve the children a system that will provide them a quality education through government schools. To carry out this program, we have signed an agreement. The different institutions taking part into this agreement are the following. On the one hand, from Nepal, we have the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, and also the Education Ministry. From Spain, one of the most important institutions is the government of Spain through the Ministry of Education. Another very important institution is the University of Spain, UNED, and finally the EduQual Foundation, also from Spain. With this agreement, we have the possibility to work in both countries implementing pedagogy for transformation in Nepali schools and also Spanish schools. The Spanish teachers, before going to Nepal, they have to be trained in Spain. They all come, they attend seminars and courses, they learn the principles of the pedagogy for transformation, and after they go back to schools, they implement the materials in their own classrooms, they reach to conclusions, and afterwards they travel to Nepal and they work in Nepal in 2 differentiated lines. The first line is teaching the teachers how to implement the methodology through teachers' training. The teachers come to the courses and they are acquiring the skills to be able to perform in their own schools in Nepal. Secondly, we come up with different teams from Nepali teachers and Spanish teachers, and we go to the Nepali schools, the government schools, and we develop different activities during the 2 years program. To be able to communicate with Nepali teachers and Nepali people, if the people do not speak Nepali, it's very important that they have to have a very high level of English. So all the teachers, before going to Nepal, they have to speak good English. This project started in September 2011. It has been very successful, and we have been giving our first teachers training the last month of November, to all the teachers from the 3 regions we are working with. One of the most deprived communities in Nepalganj is the community of Muslims. There are many poor children among the Muslim community. Therefore, we decided to start our teachers training and our performance in the school from madrasa, and it was very successful because we acknowledge that our pedagogical principles are very much alike with the philosophy of the Islam, and therefore we can say that our system works with different religions and with different cultures. One of the most important exercises of Pedagogy for Transformation is the morning assembly. The morning assembly is the soul and the principle of our methodology. We first started the morning assembly in the Nepali schools as an alternative to the military system-based discipline they are operating in most of the schools in Nepal. With this military, very aggressive system, the children are being taught to obey and blindly to accept whatever norms given by the society without giving their personal opinion, without giving them space to express their own thoughts. And we would like, with this morning assembly, to shape the mind of the children into analytical thinking, critical and creative type of mind. So with the morning assembly, they learned, first of all, to become the architects of their own life. They are able to create their own dreams and to materialize the dreams. And they are able to project objectives. They project 3 types of objectives. How to become a better person. They analyze themselves the way they are, and they wish to change something that is not working in their personal life. For example, not to say lies, not to thieve the things from others. The second objective they learn to project is to improve the relations with their families. We all have problems in our family, and the family problems are most of the times a very important fact of unhappiness. Finally, they learned to design a third objective based on the creating positive changes into the society they live in, starting from the school, the neighborhood, the city or the town they live in. Finally, the country, for the betterment of the world. With this morning assembly, they learned to become the real architects of their own lives. And from the very beginning, they also learned to give thanks for what they have. And also, they learned to ask for forgiveness. They say sorry. The children voluntarily, after performing their thoughts, they stand up and they share their problems with all of us. So when they are able to say sorry for something they have committed, when they are able to share their objectives, their dreams, their wishes with the school community, it means that they are taking the maturity of mind, which is a subject to be learned through the life, as easy and as simple as learning mathematics or language or science. It's on progress. It means that the maturity of mind, it's a subject that has to be taught in the schools as another subject in a very easy way, without having to feel extremely embarrassed to acknowledge that, without having to feel guilty about that. Sometimes we hide, we have the tendency to hide our mistakes, or when we have a problem, we don't know how to approach it because we never learned. So the morning assembly gives a tool to the children that will be most significant to be performed through the lifelong. Pedagogy for Transformation has a very beautiful activity. The name of this activity is The Secret of Numbers, and has to do with mathematics. The children learn to measure different objects using their hands and their fingers. So we first started by drawing their bodies on the floor on a brown paper. So after the children, they were cutting the silhouette, and afterwards they were measuring the whole thing using their hands and using their fingers, and they were writing the data on the paper. Also, they were putting themselves in a scale and to know how much they weighed. And they were substituting the hands and the fingers by bricks. So if Aisha's weight was, for example, 20 kilos, that was equivalent maybe to 5 bricks. And this is the way they have been learning how to get equivalents to figures or to numbers. That is a difficult concept especially for the little ones, for the kindergarten children. There is an activity called Other Children, Other Cultures, where the children learn different time in different countries. For example, when in Spain is 10 o'clock morning time, in Nepal is 5 hours later. And they learned that using a globe, Earth globe, and they are pointing at the different places and different times by exercises that the teacher is operating in the whole class as a large group, and also with small group activities. And it's very, very successful. The children in Nepal, they have to face that from a very different perspective than children in other places in the world and other countries, because unfortunately, due to the lack of medical facilities, accidents and other factors, the people, they don't live as long as the people in America or in Europe or in Japan. And taking in consideration this factor, we have started different activities to teach the children how to face death, how to understand the concept of death, and especially how to help the people when they are dying. There is a system from which the person who is dying gets enormous help and enormous peace if someone is there to assist him or her, and also someone who could coordinate the loss, the grief, and the pain of those people who are losing someone, a family member or a friend. And to learn about death is as important as to learn about birth, delivery, and other scientific activities. So this is one of the very successful subjects that it's included in the Pedagogy for Transformation. There is an activity called Thanksgiving Game. This activity teach the children how to write storytelling. The children, they will associate different images, different pictures, and they will come up with stories, different stories, where at the end they will learn how to be thankful to the things they have, how to appreciate life, rather than counting the things they don't have, rather than being angry for those things that never happens. And it's a very charming and peaceful and beautiful activity. In our program, we included the implementation of a series of books that I have been developing through my 20 years working in Nepal. Those books are for kindergarten and also for primary. And I decided to join different subjects interrelated within each other: science, music, literature, mathematics, with a topic or a theme. One of these books was very important at the very beginning when we first started our medical checkup in the schools, because what we found in the schools, some of the children, they had parasites, they had lice, and they had sometimes infections due to the lack of hygiene in water or in their own body. So through the microscopes, we brought different microscopes in the schools, and the children learned how to identify germs and bacteria, and how to create different prevention measures to become healthier and not to become sick. One of the most significant exercises and materials of our pedagogy, it's named after the windows of light. The windows of light is directly related to our morning assembly. Every time a child accomplishes an objective, will develop a creation, will develop a design, will develop an art sort of thing, placing small sitaras, which are small pieces of, sort of material used by the Nepalis to put on their clothes. And with these little sitaras, they will fill up a space, silhouette, a shape on the window, and the light will go through it. Every time a child will see the accomplishment of their objectives, will feel very happy, will feel the glory of being able to be the master of their own life by projecting good objectives and by experiencing the good outcome and the good results. Before the children go back home, we perform the evening assembly. Through the evening assembly, the children have the opportunity to go through a reflection and acknowledge whether they have accomplished or not their objectives. They can understand how difficult it is to change a habit, how difficult it is to accomplish something new, and they do a short evaluation, and some of them, they stand up and they express their feelings in front of everybody. In this evening assembly, they have the opportunity to listen to different wise people from different religions, philosophies, and different schools and points of view, philosophical type of lectures. People come and they will address speeches on how to improve our habits, how to become better persons, how to create the habit of practicing virtues, and to make our life improving through good practices. The reflection in the evening assembly helps the children to understand that every accomplishment is due to self-effort, consistency, and motivation towards learning. It helps the children to develop self-esteem, because with every achievement there is a new creativity to come out, and the children, they wish to create a world that could be better than the one they are living in. Although the pedagogy for transformation is being implemented in Nepal, it doesn't mean that it's a pedagogy to work with only in Nepal, because the main principle of the pedagogy for transformation is to create a mind which is mature, to develop children with a mature mind. So the maturity of mind, it's not an objective to be developed only in Nepal, but all over the world. For this reason, I have started giving training to people from other countries, and actually at this moment there are 38 schools in Spain where the teachers and the students, they are developing this kind of materials, this kind of principles with this methodology, and is very, very successful.